Hi, everybody. This is Brian Lee Davidson Terka, and I am going to read another portion of the Bible for you. I'm going to do this every day while we were kind of housebound. So let's take a look at this. Looking at chapter 4, verses 43 through 54. We're going to look at how Jesus heals an official's son. So this is like a royal official, and Jesus is going back to Galilee, where he's like, people don't really appreciate you as much when they've grown up with you than as much as they do when they maybe seen you do something special for the first time. So, well, he does mention that, but uh, let's uh, let's take a look at this passage, okay, to see some of the things that are going on. After 2 days, he left for Galilee. Now, Jesus himself pointed out that a prophet has no honor in his own country. So he's saying they don't necessarily appreciate you where you're from. When he arrives in Galilee, the Galileans welcome him. They had seen all that he had done for Jerusalem and the Passover feast, for they also had been there. Once more, he visited Cana in Galilee, where he had turned water into wine. So one of his first miraculous miracles that caught people's attention. This wedding feast. This was local. And there was a certain royal official whose son lay sick in Capernaum. So he's here from Capernaum. He's probably saying, Jesus should really, I need you. You should come back with me. When this man heard Jesus had arrived in Galilee from Judea, he went to him and begged him to heal his son, who was close to death. Unless you people see miraculous signs and wonders, Jesus told him, you will never believe. The royal official said, Sir, come down before my child dies. Jesus replied, You may go. Your son will live. Now, this is interesting. I'm sure this actually stood out to the people around him. Jesus is telling a royal official what to do. So this is the kind of authority that Jesus is putting out. He's putting forward his own royal authority, that he has as God, as Son of God, as God. He has the authority to say, go home. Your son will live. So, one, he's telling him to go home. Two, he's assuring him, your son is going to be alive when you get there. The man took Jesus at his word and departed. So there's an act of faith, taking Jesus at his word. While he was still on the way, his servants met him with the news that his boy was living. When he inquired as to the time when his son got better, they said to him, the fever lifted yesterday at the 7th hour. Then the father realized that this was the exact time at which Jesus had said to him, your son will live. He and all his household believed. Okay, so that's interesting. It wasn't just him, but his whole household believed at that point. So, like I said in previous videos, people were waiting for the Messiah to come. They were. They were waiting for Jesus to get on the scene and start something new. And this is what people were seeing. So the Samaritans saw it, the household of this royal official saw it. So, and, well, and people in general were seeing Jesus' healings as well. So, miracles are happening, and he's showing, and word is getting around that he's the Messiah. Let me finish this off before I. So, people are starting to believe because of the miraculous signs. This is the stage things are at right now. But they're also believing before the miraculous signs, because it says here, this man took Jesus at his word. Closing this section, we see this was the second miraculous sign that Jesus performed, having come from Judea and Galilee. So, one of the things that I think is interesting here is that there's a differentiation between different kinds of miracles, because he's been performing miracles where Jesus basically knew about people's lives that he physically had never met face to face before, and ones that stand out as miraculous signs, like the one that he did at the wedding feast when he turned water into wine. And this is standing out as a miraculous sign because by his word, this royal official's son was healed from a long way away. The royal official was like, Jesus, come on, come with me. Look, you need to help my son. And Jesus replies, you may go, your son will live. So it's kind of interesting to think of the differentiation, how these were different. The miraculous sign, gets the attention of a group of people, whereas the individual sign seems to inspire people to go out and tell people about Christ, saying, this Messiah, he knows me. And I think as Christians, we're often, that's the relationship that we're trying to share. We're trying to share the spiritual miracle that we're experiencing right now. But other people are going to come to know Christ through something that is more of a sign, more of something that is perceived beyond us. It could be the vastness of the stars in the sky. It could be nature all around us. It could be looking to the friends and family that we value. The physical, emotional, spiritual experiences we have with those relationships. It could be part of that. God meets us in all sorts of ways. And I think it's cool seeing this particular way that he met this royal official with the healing of his son. So the ways that he meets you are just as valuable as the way he would meet me. The way that he meets anyone who holds a ministry position, those are not necessarily any more valuable than the way he would meet any average Joe or Jane person. God meets us, and it's not about position. And that actually that's a good contrast here. Here we just spoke a couple videos ago about a woman, a Samaritan woman who was not in a very high social place. And now we have a royal official who is of high special place, and he's coming to meet and believe in the Messiah. So we see something that's beyond culture, beyond class, and at the same time miraculous both individually and communally. It's pretty awesome. All right. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you have any prayers you'd like me to pray over, please let me know. If you'd like me to, if you, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget, wash your hands. Wash your hands. And if you don't have hand sanitizer and can't find hand sanitizer where you're at, look up some videos on homemade hand sanitizer, okay? All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.